This young man traveled back in time to kill baby Hitler. You wouldn't believe why he did it. Hi everyone, this is Timeline Recap. Spoilers ahead. Heads up and stay safe. The movie opens in a dystopian Miami in the year 1985 when crime is rampant. Local criminals and a police officer got into a heated confrontation for no apparent cause. When asked to identify themselves, one of them flips his skateboard beneath the police car and sends it flying, violating the laws of physics. The cop is killed as the automobile explodes as a result of the guy's gunfire. Gangsters are everywhere in Miami, ready to kill and abuse whomever they like. It nearly seems like a cinematic version of GTA Vice City has been made. Two men lose a video game at a local arcade and criticize the device. In response, the machine curses at them and begins to object. Electric waves go down its body, bringing it to life instantly. It flicks off the nerds and blows their brains as they stare at it. The machine then leaves the arcade and begins to rampage, killing everyone and destroying everything in its path.
I don't want peace. I want problems, always!
Several automobiles were damaged, along with several structures. Later, a police vehicle arrives on the scene and tries to stop it. The mechanical beast, however, has little trouble defeating him. After it runs out of coins and begins to expire, it snatches some coin money from a parking meter nearby and keeps ambushing people as it travels. Finally, the police declare a situation to be an emergency, and the only option is to contact Kung Fury, the top police officer in the area. Kung Fury is recognized for being the Kung Fu Master's preferred disciple, the Chosen One. He is at the moment spending some alone time with his partner. After hearing about the crazy machine, he instantly leaps from a building and lands in his sports vehicle. Wait, is that a Lamborghini? Wait, what? The machine is flicking off an arbitrary dog on the road by the time he arrives at the crime site. Fury rams the car into it, causing the device to fall to the ground. The two then engage in a vicious combat that lasts for many hours. They somehow win themselves dangling from a moving chopper at one point. Fury even collides with a satellite in orbit. But he recovers and carries on with the assault. In the end, Fury wins, and the arcade machine is disassembled. Then, we are brought back in time to the beginning of Fury's path toward being the finest cop. One night while on duty with his partner, they are pursuing a mystery kung fu teacher together. They apprehend him, demonstrating their superiority as the best police squad. They are unaware that Kung Fu Man is not a novice. He instantly slices Buddy in two, killing him, and prepares to do the same on Fury before he is afterwards struck by lightning and bitten by a snake at the same time. He passes out and dreams that he is attending a Shaolin temple. For years, the school has been searching for a single fighter who could use a fighting technique known as the Fury. Fury was the actual Chosen One, which is how he got his name. He abruptly awakens in the alley, where the Kung Fu teacher is just about to murder him. This time, he uses a single kick to knock the man into the wall, demonstrating his status as the Chosen One. In the end, the criminal blows himself up in an oil tanker as Fury performs a bogus split nearby. He visits the wreckage after things have subsided and takes a piece of the criminal's clothing as a memento, vowing to take action against person like him to keep his city peaceful. The next scene finds Fury being summoned to the captain's office. Everyone is furious with him for demolishing a whole housing development to capture a single machine. The captain pairs him up with Triceracop, a human with a dinosaur's head, as a partner to prevent him from repeating his error. Fury, however, firmly declines to collaborate with a partner after the previous one passed away years ago. As a result, he decides to quit his job completely. The captain receives a call from an unidentified number just as he is ready to leave the station. Adolf Hitler, who enjoys kung fu, is the person on the other end. He starts making death threats to everyone and firing through the phone, which eventually is coming out from this end. The captain and several other police officers are killed as a barrage of gunshots rains down on the station. Fortunately, Fury returns and smashes the phone with few precise blows before any further damage can be done. After that, a flashback to Hitler's past reveals that, in the 1940s, he was a kung fu champion. He desired to perfect the art of fury and become the Chosen One. He named himself Kung Fuhrer and used an entire army to do that. However, he failed to perfect the art, And one day he vanished in shame. But it turns out that he managed to time travel into the future in order to murder the Chosen One, aka Fury. The only way to stop Hitler at this point is to travel back to 1940s and assassinate him while his army is still growing. There's only one minor issue: there isn't a time machine yet. A man with a little mustache and a mullet hairdo approaches Fury while Fury muses over what he ought to do next. He introduces himself as Hacker Man. He dons his unique glove, enters a few numbers into his computer, and amazingly builds a time machine. Fury eventually manages to hack back through time, but due to a fault, he travels further into the past than he intended to. He becomes aware of this once extinct animal called Laser Raptor. The raptor is ready to laser him when someone suddenly blows it up. It turns out to be a girl riding a huge wolf while armed with a heavy machine gun. They are in the Viking Age. She confesses while introducing herself as Barbariana. They are soon joined by Katana, another girl carrying a rifle, and they all agree to meet up on a hill to chat. The girls are eager to assist Fury after learning how he arrived here. Although they lack the authority needed to send him into the future, they are aware of the ideal candidate for the job. As a result, Katana invokes the god of thunder, and a massive Thor shows up in front of them. Before inquiring as to what is wrong, he displays his muscles and boasts about his gym program. Thor moves his hammer in a matter of seconds when requested to create a temporal rift in space. Barbariana queries Fury about his future plans before he departs. The two decide to stay in touch by phone calls because they feel chemistry with one another. Since there are no phones in this world, Fury invents a phone and promotes it to Barbariana. He bids them goodbye after describing all the perks it offers and enters Nazi Germany. The location does not appear to be very appealing at first. By a tank, two Nazi troops are chatting about mustaches. The older one makes the other guy cry by making a comparison between his mustache and pubic hair. They argue for a minute before noticing that the tank is missing. Fury appears to be holding it above their heads. He destroys them and thanks them before they have a chance to flee. At night, Hitler delivers a speech before a throng of tens of thousands of Nazis who, for some reason, are putting on gas masks. He claims to be the best kung fuer of all time and asks the audience whether they agree. When they respond positively, he only carries on to the subsequent sentence. Hitler also dances clumsily for the audience's amusement. Everything is going according to plan, until a startling loud blast. A tank has just crashed through the ceiling. Just then, Fury jumps to the ground. He approaches a Nazi soldier and declares, "I'm going to disarm you," before practically tearing off his arm. After that, he spins it while mounting it to a cannon to make helicopter wings.
You get it? If you don't get it, forget about it.
He can soar over the throng and shoot anyone in his line of sight, thanks to this device. The Fur ultimately gives the order to his warriors to capture the intruder, but they are in no way able to compete with Kung Fury. Fury fiercely confronts his opponents despite being surrounded in a sea of them. Without once being touched, he causes the others to fly off into space while decapitating several of them with just a kick. When Hitler notices this, he finally acts. He removes the machine gun from inside his podium and begins firing erratically at the crowd, killing even his soldiers, but unfortunately, Fury is shot multiple times. He suddenly drops to the ground. To everyone's surprise, Hitler prevails. With that, the Nazis all join in the raucous applause and rejoice their victory until they are startled by some loud thunder. The god of thunder descends from the heavens, announcing his glorious presence to all. He is being followed at the same time by Triceracop, Fury's 2B police partner, a Laser Raptor, and hacking barbarian Katana. They strike the Nazi troops as a group, killing each member one by one. With its laser eyes, the dinosaur decimates half of the army. Barbariana and Katana demonstrate their superiority to all other fighters. Hackerman and Triceracop are motivated by their passion for Fury, but Thor is the one who massacres the most people. They halt abruptly after a fierce combat to observe the final Nazi fall to the ground. Hitler remains the only enemy remaining. Hackerman notices abruptly that Fury is not present. They start looking for him and eventually come across his lifeless body on the ground. Meanwhile, a furious Führer unleashes his enormous pet eagle, crafted of solid gold. It starts to assault the group right away, but the Laser Raptor stops it. Then, a virtual world with an animated character named Fury is presented to us. When he encounters a huge cobra, it turns out that it is a spirit animal. The serpent that bit Fury the night he attained eternal knowledge and was designated as the Chosen One. The cobra tells that Fury has passed away on Earth and that this is heaven. This implies that he will continue to enjoy a luxurious life for all of eternity. It is not at all what Fury wants. He displays his ID to the cobra and declares that he is required to return to Earth as he is a police officer. Fury burns red with wrath as the cobra continues to refuse. He charges on the snake and wants to kick it. But just then, the snake disappears. Following that, Fury is drawn back into reality, where the eagle and the laser raptor are still at odds. It turns out that Hackerman downloaded him back to life by hacking heaven. Fury acknowledges him and then turns to face Hitler. The group of Herpes watches in wonder as the Fury initially assumes the fuming position before changing it after he realizes he cannot win the battle. What? Hitler makes a show of supporting them. Fury and he are like brothers, he claims, comparing the swastika's crimson background to Fury's clothing. But not before he has finished speaking. Fury hits him in the manhood and knocks him off his feet. Finally, Thor uses his hammer to smash him as he lies powerless on the ground. The eagle tries to help him just before he is crushed, but he also meets the same end. Hitler and the eagle are completely gone when Thor removes the hammer. The gang is slightly surprised by this, but they continue to assume that the attackers have been vanquished and begin to rejoice. When everyone turns to look at him and asks what is to be done next, Fury responds that he wants to go back to the police station since he has a lot of paperwork to complete. Surprisingly, everyone starts laughing at the cheesy joke. The action then jumps back to the arcade machine's opening rampage through Miami. Fury pulls up shortly after in his sports car and the fight begins. Like before, he battles the machine and eventually defeats it. The eagle and the fur arrive in an alleyway somewhere else. Then it is revealed that the eagle has already saved its master by teleporting them just in time. They are now prepared to get revenge for the deaths of thousands of their friends. In the last scene, Fury discovers that the arcade machine has a swastika on its side. His expression indicates that he is aware that Hitler has returned. The movie ends. Please subscribe to watch more timeline videos like this. This is Timeline Recapped. Thanks for watching.